Wow.
All the goodness.
So much goodness in one spot. I can't even contain the goodness.
Before you even start, you can't even. So, so welcome to Open Caller. I am Corey. He's Shell, and the faceless wonder returns.
Still,
Lenny Leonard.
I'll
AKA
get a cam
Ryan.
soon. I promise. I promise.
How are all your Twitch fans dealing with no video
All
on
two,
your
all two of them.
all two of them? Oh, so us?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You guys tell me. You know?
Is it still StarCraft or what? Are you on to
I haven't been gaming. I've been off the videos.
off Sans videos?
Yeah, sans videos. Is it because I'm getting too old?
No.
Perhaps.
No. Is it
Yes.
because you're going to bed at 6:00?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we're saying. We were going to record on Friday and I followed up with Ryan, and it's like, oh yeah, we both forgot, and we were both in bed before 10:30.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is before daylight saving.
Yeah.
So really 9:30.
Yeah, I don't like this extra hour of light.
This whole changing
It's-
time is just the worst in general anyway. Just
Yeah.
keep it at daylight savings and leave it at that.
They should just get rid of it. Do you guys want
They
to talk
should.
2 hours about how they should get rid of daylight savings?
You should always stop with the Tina turning your clocks ahead.
I feel like
I-
we talked about this last year.
Every
year
twice,
everyone
twice a
talks
year.
about it. Every year.
Twice a year at least.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the worst thing. It's so stupid. But whatever.
All right. I'll
'Cause
be right back.
we are all about we can't change unless other people change. It's very much a Rocky IV closing speech.
Yeah.
If I can change and you can
But-
change, and then every place can change, and
Then
we're
we
all
can
going to
all
be on, then we'll all be on daylight savings
All right.
year round. I don't.
But, you
Know.
know.
People have a problem of saving daylight. That's the one thing we can within our power that we can save in this world, and it's daylight.
It's not it's just there's no real reason.
I just never understood how our own, because like time is like a construct. Like we're the only fucking animals that measure time, technically, right? So like
Yeah.
we're not losing or gaining anything. We're just changing the measurement of it for that whatever.
And even by that logic too, like I know people make the argument that we were doing it because of the farmers. Farmers will go out and farm when there's light and go in when it's dark. So
Yeah,
even,
farmers
like,
are
knowing
not
the construct of time, they're not using it. They're using it based on what the weather gives them.
Yeah, and the whole farmer thing is, I'm pretty sure it's more of a myth than anything.
Yes.
Right? It's they were like, no, we don't need to do this. We don't want to do this. They're already adjusting for time zones and everything, and they're like, no.
Can we open up the phone lines to have the farmers start calling in?
Farmers are gonna farm, man. That's what it is.
Exactly.
We'd like to hear from you, the farmers, the people. You tell us.
And then there was the myth of it saves energy by changing, which no, I think
doesn't.
you end up using more because when you adjust your clocks, you go to work like in the dark, you come home and you're in the dark, so you're having your lights on more often.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it's not energy savings. It's not for the farmers. If anyone says that it's for any reason other than the fact that they just want like some potential more daylight at the end of their work day, like that's dumb. I don't know. That's really the only reason, and at that point just leave it all year round.
It's
Agreed. Bang the gavel. Done.
Do we have one that squeaks when you bang it?
No.
We do not.
case closed. Game over. End of game. Oh, The Office. So everyone, I'm sure, is up on the Oscar buzz that came out today with, yeah.
I am not, but enlighten me.
So they announced the Oscar nominations. That's really all I got from it.
Is Leo okay?
Leo, I don't think Leo was up for anything.
I don't think so. Was he in anything last year?
I think he
Was
might have taken
anybody?
a year off.
Was there movies?
Yeah, was
last year?
anybody in?
Yeah, hope everybody liked Tenet.
No.
I enjoyed it.
Ah.
I didn't understand it. I just enjoyed it.
For the Academy, I think all I got was what most Christopher Nolan movies get, which is effects
Yeah.
or sound.
Most confusing storyline.
They don't have that Oscar yet.
Ah.
No, I think the big
It's
story was
because Christopher Nolan has never released 2 movies in the same time period. If he did, then there would be a potential fight for most confusing.
the big news was that Chadwick Boseman, or as Ash likes to call him, Bosewick Chadman,
Yes.
got nominated for Best Lead Actor, and
Is that another like Heath Ledger thing, or
that's what I was gonna say. Is this another give him all the awards because he's not here to get any more?
is it would you have won it if you were alive?
Well, my argument for the Heath Ledger is if you look at his performance in that movie, is you look at the character, you don't see Heath Ledger, you don't hear his voice. I think he would have got nominated. I think he would have got nominated. Anyway,
I don't think he would have won. I think
I think it's a toss up for that.
Yeah. I think the investment and kind of the campaigning that goes into Oscar wins. I think if he was alive, I don't think he would have necessarily got it. Undeservingly so, but I don't think he would have got it. That's my hot take.
Yeah, and my consensus feeling is with
Badwick.
I haven't seen but Chadwick. I haven't seen the movie, but when all the clips I've seen, I've just it's Chadwick doing Chadwick's thing.
Yeah, it's it's Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
It's not really like he's acting. It's just him being him.
It's like that Being John Malkovich movie.
I never saw that.
Me neither, actually.
I've always meant to. It's on the list of many movies.
It is a movie that you mean to see and never really do.
It's like I never got around to Fight Club.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a good one.
The English Patient. Mean to say. Will I ever?
No.
Debatable.
It's like the Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, Citizen Kane. It's like the movies to see before you die, but
never do.
Like do it on your deathbed because don't waste your living time watching it.
You'll have tons of time in the hospice
to
catch up on all these movies.
Say when you're in the doctor's office and he comes in with the serious face and he's like, I have news. Then you just say, how long do I have? Can I fit all these movies in?
Do I have one English Patient's worth of movie? Because that's like 4 hours, isn't it? Like 3.5.
Yeah, it's something. Like the extended cut of Peter Jackson's King Kong is runs about 4 hours.
Snyder Cut's gonna be 4 hours,
which is apparently getting
rave reviews.
Good. Well, I'm not seeing great. I've seen this is better than the shitty one.
Yeah,
that we
it's
did.
definitely
and the biggest compliment I've seen was it's the best DCEU movie so far.
Right. It's definitely an Iron Fist series, like season 2 versus series 1 situation. I feel like.
Yeah, I've seen people say that it doesn't change the story; it just fleshes it out more. Which to me, I look at it. If you can't cut a movie down from 4 hours to 2.5 and be able to tell a good story, 4 hours doesn't make it better. 4 hours just makes it's just like, oh, you needed this time to flesh out stuff. I think you need to be a better storyteller.
Well, that also has to just do with the fact that they rushed through to a team up movie, right?
Yes.
The Avengers didn't need 4 hours to flesh out their thing because they had 8 hours of movie before that, or no, more than 8, almost 12 hours of movie before Avengers. Justice League had what? Man of Steel,
and then Batman v
Superman. Was there another one before that? Did Wonder Woman come after that?
Yeah, it was Wonder Woman.
So Wonder Woman,
Aquaman.
But Aquaman was after Justice League, I think.
Was it?
I think so.
Whatever.
I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, they didn't have good storytelling in those movies either. So, because this one, like Snyder said, it was supposed to be more than one movie.
Yeah.
But since they weren't going to be able to do that, they just took as much footage as they could. But yeah, you're right. Like, it shouldn't take 4 hours to flesh out a movie. It should be that the movie's there, and then if you want that additional information, the extended cut gives you kind of little peeks into what happened in between the scenes.
Yeah.
That being said, like, Justice League was not a great movie, so I'm excited, but I am definitely like holding off expectations for this one because I'm very excited to kind of see what they'll flesh out in, and apparently there's just so much new stuff that Joss Whedon kind of rewrote or didn't use from Snyder's original stuff. So I'm like curious to see what's different and curious to see what they expand on, if any. Well, obviously some stuff, but apparently there's more of what's his name there, Cyborg, which they pretty much was like, hey, there's a dude, his name's Cyborg.
Come this way.
And that was it. Like that's all. That was all he did in the entire movie.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, it'll be nice to kind of have, because he was the one that didn't really get an origin story of everyone, him and Flash. So if they kind of have their own mini origin story within the movie, then I'll take it.
I do like the idea of calling it Snyder's Original. Sounds like, like a hot dog or something.
Yeah.
Some sort of meat product.
Maybe there's going to be a competition.
Snyder's Original hot dog competition. But yeah, and very much Warner Brothers was going where the puck is, rather than going where the puck's going to be. It's like, oh, Marvel's doing A, so we got to do A plus. So we'll do this, but we'll speed go faster.
Yeah.
And then end up with a D minus.
Just terrible.
Yeah, so we have the Oscar nominations, whatever. I find we're in a world where award shows are even more irrelevant than anything else because we's all gonna die. Which brings me to story number 2, which came up this week. The Grammys. So it wasn't just The Weeknd, I think, that boycotted, but his big thing was boycotting it due to lack of recognition, it seemed.
Yeah, I didn't read too much on it, but yeah, I think there was just a lot of, they had a stage to say a bunch of stuff and they didn't.
Does that come across as sour grapes, artists who boycott awards because they're not nominated for award? Or is it just
I
them
think
saying, like, listen, even though I didn't get nominated, your whole system shows that it's a flawed system?
I think it maybe depends on the artist, like if they have a history of that. I don't think The Weeknd gives an F about being nominated or not. Like, he kind of does his own thing.
All the articles I saw painted it as in this guy had music for the past year in like the top 100 and was not nominated for anything, and therefore is boycotting.
Yeah, I don't.
I've always thought the Grammys was without a touch, period, because everyone who wins is people I've never heard of in my life.
Exactly. But it's I don't know, with The Weeknd, it's just I don't know. From what it seems, I obviously don't know him at all. I wish I did. But he definitely he seems like a person that awards and stuff like that might not mean as much to him. Like, he wants to make the music. He started off as just like a guy on the streets of Toronto, like making music because he wanted to. And it seems as though that's persisted, but I don't know. I doubt it's sour grapes. I think it would depend on the person. But I don't think he's saying anything that's like most people haven't been saying for a while anyway. It's just not getting, or it's getting more attention because he didn't get nominated. Yeah. But I mean, like, would Michael Jordan have said something about like an MVP or like an MVP race where he wasn't even part of it if he was a top scorer in the league? Maybe. But it's also like it's Michael Jordan. He's, like you
It
said,
also could be the generation too. Like,
what do you mean?
Well, like people can't handle rejection in our like society now in our age brackets. So like somebody like a Jordan who, let's say, dominated, which he did, and just didn't get the recognition. I don't think, like with this case with The Weeknd, wouldn't care as much and wouldn't be vocal about it.
Yeah, he'd just be like, whatever, give me, like, why don't you just give me the championship?
Yeah. It's like you're winning on the court. That's all that matters. Like LeBron's the same way.
Yeah.
But then you have like title chasers that go from team to team trying to win a ring. And then you have people who think they're better than everybody and sit out games or demand players get traded away or trade me away to a team that's going to win.
LeBron's got a bit of that too, though.
But I find he goes about it a different way than
he absolutely does. But the end result is kind of similar.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I agree. I think he does it. He does it a lot. What's the word? Not cleaner, but definitely he comes out of it unscathed a lot.
Unlike what we have going on in Brooklyn with Harden and Durant and all those guys.
Yeah, they just got Griffin.
Like it's more showy, the moves. Like these guys are going to violating COVID protocols, and you got to ask them like, "Oh, are you okay with sharing the ball?" Well,
yeah,
it should be because you want to win. Now, I want to talk about the possibility of Creed 3 and Michael B. Jordan directing his first movie being a threequel of a franchise that's already 40, 50 years old. Do we need a Creed 3 after Creed 2? We didn't need a Rocky 4. We didn't need Rocky 5.
We didn't need Rocky 7, Adrian's Revenge.
2 weeks in a row.
I was just gonna say 2 weeks in a row.
2 episodes in a row.
Yep. I agree. I don't think we need one. I'd see it. I think the Creed movies have been like very fun to watch.
Does
even
Michael B. Jordan
even though they
change your thoughts on going to be good or not?
No, absolutely not. I don't think it's going to be good regardless. I don't think they have much of a story to play off of.
Will a Creed 3 with no Rocky be worthy of watching?
Like, I'm okay with that too. Like, I don't know. I didn't really love Rocky in the Creed movies anyway. Like, I thought that he was just there because it's like, oh, it's a boxing movie, Rocky. Make sure Stallone's in it.
The Creed, for sure.
The first one,
I think, served a purpose. The second one, was just leeching on because Stallone was writing it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm gonna write you this movie. Well, I need a part in it too. But I think the arc of Rocky kind of was wrapped up, so I don't foresee him, aside from a maybe glorified cameo.
I want to see one more Brisk Iced Tea commercial.
That's Brisk, baby!
That was need to come back, just period. Not even if it's Stallone or... What were the other ones? They have like Elvis or...
But why couldn't it be Stallone? Like, it was animated. Who cares? Like, get this guy some money. People know what it is.
He's doing his own stuff now. Like, he's got Balboa Productions. He's making his own stuff that's outside of Rambo.
Yeah, but is he gonna say no to his image
I don't think
on
no.
Brisk?
He won't say no. Like, he opened his own like web store and sells memorabilia from the movies.
Yeah.
You can buy a Rambo knife. You can buy like Rocky's fedora. You can you name it. You can buy it on his fucking store.
I feel like the coolness factor is very different between the Rambo knife and a fedora.
I don't know.
Well, one's a bigger franchise than the other.
Out of those two items, I'd be like,
I'll go. I don't know. Would you go the Balboa boxing trunks? Like what Creed's got on there?
Easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those are nice.
I think I just don't want a fedora. Is the point that I'm getting at?
What if? Now hear me out. Buy the fedora. I'll throw in the Italian style leather jacket to go with it.
Ooh, do I have to wear the fedora with the
Yes.
jacket? Damn it!
Yeah, you can't just buy it and throw it away. That's
And
not...
you got to wear like the finger cut off leather gloves too, and bounce a ball.
This is a lot of sacrifice.
It's all part of it. Now you do not have to wear the dog collar that he wears as a bracelet,
Oh,
makes it a bit better.
but it comes with it. I'll throw that in as well. I'm losing money here, Ryan.
no deal. Give me the rainbow knife.
I'll see your Rambo knife and raise you Mickey the Trainer's toque.
I take the
Ooh.
toque. I take the toque.
I would take
before
that.
the fedora.
I take the toque and the gray full tracksuit.
Yes,
Nice. I'd wear that.
tucked in.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you can be tucked in.
Yeah, has to be tucked in.
Rightly tucked.
And did they bring that rule back? I'm starting to see some players with their jerseys tucked again.
That you can't tuck or that you have
Sorry,
to...
they got rid of that rule.
Yeah.
Because before it was you were doing it, then the league put in you can't be tucked anymore. But I've seen guys.
I think they should bring it back.
For hockey?
Yeah.
Because like there are a lot of guys that are tucking both.
What is it?
I think they were saying maybe it's because they got the numbers on the helmets now, but it hinders the like play-by-play or the refs from seeing your number on the back because
If
your
it's
jersey's
tucked
tucked
in?
in. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think they said it was like a hazard too. I don't know. You know, like you can't wear certain colors in the NFL because for some reason. Because of reasons, right? And Michelle, because of reasons. So we talked about Space Jam last week. Legacy.
Rip
We
Lola
can talk
Bunny.
about how we're not going to see this guy in the movie. Pepe, because
I mean, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, and I'm
Sexual
not, like
assaults.
literally don't care. Like who was clamoring for this guy
This-
to be
This
to have?
This isn't a hot button issue for me. And yeah, after,
I never found Pepe Le Pew to be even like a remotely entertaining cartoon.
No, it was when
Like,
you
I
had
was
those
watching
like
the Bugs
variety
Bunny and
hour,
Tweety Hour. Yeah,
like his kind of 3-minute spot or whatever was not the thing I was watching it for.
you knew it was wrong when you were watching it as a kid, so you probably know it's wrong now.
the only thing I will
Unless if
say
you're
is the only fun of watching those sketches was trying to think how is that cat going to get the stripe this time?
yeah, I was just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
unfortunate.
I
And
think
then after that,
Oh man, there's so many jokes here that I'm just avoiding.
there was one thing
Ryan,
that I
this is a
read.
safe space. You can let them out.
It's not.
It's on the
Um,
internet.
There was one thing that I read that like it got taken out because it got taken out like a year ago, right?
Yeah, it was. They switched directors, and then the guy who came on board said, we don't need this."
Yeah. But what I read about it was that like in Legacy, Pepe Le Pew does his old creepy rapey thing, and
Oh, that's what it was.
LeBron like shoots it down and is like, no, you're being a creep, like you can't do that. And then some people were upset that it got taken out because it showed or it kind of didn't allow for
A conversation.
conversation or just someone to say that that is wrong. So like showing it and then also showing how it's wrong versus not showing it at all. Again, I think he's just like his spots in the show were like not very good anyway. Like I was definitely much more looking forward to like you said, Bugs, Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, like those were funny. Everything that Pepe Le Pew did, like that was when I was like, all right, maybe I'll go to the bathroom or get another stack of Oreos while I watch this or something.
Go eat another Eggo.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rather stand by the toaster and watch my Eggo brown up than watch Pepe Le Pew.
There you have it, kids.
And then none of it was because he was French.
No.
Sure, we can go with that.
I think it was last weekend's Family Guy did something that was similar to like this cancellation, but it was they spoofed Terminator, and Peter was like doing the scan, and it scans a person and then like gives like the write up at the bottom, and he scans Quagmire. It says former like horn dog, not as funny now.
Oh, classic.
Because they changed his character too because of the
They dialed
current.
it back.
Yeah, they dialed it back a lot
Oh, really?
to the point where he's like he's
I always
there.
thought Quagmire was funny.
But Herman the pedophile's still there.
That's okay.
That's where we draw the line.
That's in his name, though. Like,
I don't know. Is it his name?
I don't know.
Herman T. Pedophile. Owner and founder of Pedophile Land. Okay, so I thought this was ironic. Coming out soon is Netflix's documentary on the last Blockbuster.
Is this like the last weekend?
The platform that killed Blockbuster is doing a documentary on Blockbuster.
That's kind of ironic.
Poor
Who else
taste, if
would?
you ask me. HBO?
I mean, I don't know if I
That's
want to
still
watch.
television.
I watch a lot of things on a lot of boring content. I don't know if I could sit through a whole documentary about Blockbuster.
Well,
Depends who's narrating it.
It's like, what if it's like
Kevin
David,
James.
David Attenborough?
Whoa.
It's like, let's see the last of its kind in its natural habitat, the strip mall.
Yeah.
Look at that. Free rentals. Those are good times.
Renting N64 games.
Yep.
Now, did you go for the 3-day rental, or did you pick titles that gave you 7 because it was older?
Oh man, the places that weren't Blockbuster, I'd be lucky to get like the 2-day rental. Like usually you have to bring it back like the next night. But if it's
Yeah,
Blockbuster,
those are
I
rough.
think I did 3-day.
I was a weekend rental for sure. Get there Friday after school, not have to return it till like Monday, but play the hell out of it all weekend.
And now we spend $80 in games and play 2 hours and don't touch it for months.
Have you ever
Yep.
rented a game from the library? I have.
What? No. Wow.
Like that's like, I mean, it was free.
That's hard times. That's hard times.
Yeah, it was free. I used to rent PC games from the library up the street. Yeah, I rented Carmen San Diego a lot. And Putt
Well,
Putt. Putt
That's
Putt
just
was-
good sense.
Yeah.
I don't
Leecherinos.
think I ever did rent, but I did see. It was a long time ago, obviously, because rental places don't really exist anymore. But in Stitz, Stittsville, yeah.
Showbiz?
Showbiz, yeah, I rented from there, but it was Mega Power Games. And then
Mega
Terry
Power.
Foxball. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had video game rentals.
They did.
I always thought that was like a losing business because you could just take it, rip it,
Yeah.
and then get a key gen or a crack online, and you're all set.
You'd write the CD key on the disc.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were smart pirates back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love you get the patches online where you didn't need the disc in the drive anymore. It ran off of everything on your system. I used to run that and just
Yeah.
I don't need this. Stupid disc media. You ever buy controllers from Best Buy? That was like the offshoot knockoff like N64 or Xbox controllers for like a fraction of the cost.
No.
I always paid retail.
Ah.
Mine had to be new.
And official.
Yeah, and official. I couldn't get a I wasn't that asshole.
Mad
to get
Cats.
a Mad Cats. Like, here's the controller with the peanut butter on the fucking left stick. And sorry, it whistles when you move it.
The shoddy D-pad.
Yeah, the D-pad sticks on the right side. Just play around it.
Do with it what you can.
Honestly, the worst part is that I have an Xbox One controller that's exactly like that. Like nothing's changed. And I played Mortal Kombat with somebody once, and I was like, "Yeah, sorry, like your right trigger doesn't work. Good luck." By the way, that's needed for like every move.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, the A button,
Yeah.
not a thing.
It's a no go.
Here's your N64. Don't worry,
Yeah.
the Z doesn't work.
Good luck playing GoldenEye.
You see, they were trying to bring like a remastered version or something like that back, but
Of
copyrights
GoldenEye?
got in the way. Yeah.
Yeah, on the Xbox.
Yeah, I could see that.
GoldenEye on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, it was they tried.
There's people that have it. Like, there's like videos of people playing it on YouTube and like walkthroughs and.
I just don't understand why you
playthroughs and
can't take
whatever.
something like take GoldenEye, take everything about it, take the Bond aspect out, and just release it under something else.
Isn't that what like
Perfect Dark
all
is.
the isn't that all like but like even just like all the Call of Duties and Halos
No, I
and
understand,
all
I
that,
understand
like,
that, but like, why not just have it to be? Because we have, you've seen it on like the Switch and stuff. They've taken basically Blades of Steel and put blood in it and called it something else.
Great game.
yeah. And like NBA Jam, but it's called NBA Playground or whatever.
He's on
Yeah,
fire.
It's literally the exact same game.
He's heating up.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Hot take. I don't know if GoldenEye holds up. Like it was great when it first came out, but if you play it now, and once you get over the nostalgia factor of it, it's not the best first-person shooter. It's really
For
hard.
me-
It's really hard to navigate.
Yeah. For me, GoldenEye was more about the like same
buddy experience?
same TV multiplayer.
Yeah, couch
Multiplayer. Yeah, because right now, like as fun as it is, I guess that's what we started doing 10 years ago, right? With NHL, I think it was 2008 or
9.
2009
9,
Yeah.
with the Xbox. Like
They're a finesse
that-
team.
yeah, like that, the Smiley Coyotes.
Coyotes.
But like, so like that was fun and stuff, but it still
It wasn't the same.
it wasn't as fun
No,
as
yeah.
like being in the same room, like playing against each other. And like, yeah, there's the element of, looking on the other half of the TV and being like, oh, I know where the other person is, or I know where they're hiding, or, the direction they're coming from and all that kind of stuff that you lose. Which is nice because you have that, like, you have to be a little bit better at the game and reacting. But because I still never got into the single player mode of GoldenEye. Like, I don't think I ever ran through the game once in single player mode.
I beat it on like Agent, like the easiest setting. I don't think I got past that.
Yeah, like that part wasn't the fun part for me. The fun part was the like local multiplayer.
Yeah, same with Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was a blast playing with people. Like
Yeah.
like having the sleepover parties and playing Perfect Dark all night was the best.
Yeah, like
Smash Brothers too.
12
Smash.
maps, just playing the same 3 over and over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, the other maps sucked. You didn't. Want
yeah, of course. Like, you gotta play the stacks.
Yeah. Let's play Temple for the 60th time.
Yeah. The library was good.
Like, it's just funny too, is because when you have, I think it was Xbox, and you're with your buddies, and then you see, System Link, and you can have a second TV set up and watch it,
Yeah.
and you're like, wouldn't this be a novel idea where you can be in your house and I can be in my house, so we can still play and not see each other? And then now, 30 years later, or 20 years later, we're doing the opposite. Like, remember that was better the other way?
Yeah. Seriously, it was better the other way.
It's the social camaraderie.
It all started with the Game Boy Link cable. That was the beginning of the end. Yeah. They were so preoccupied figuring out if they could.
They didn't realize if they should.
Where would we be without Jeff Goldblum and his philosophy?
Nintendo's always had like been at the forefront of that though, right? Like you know,
the forefront of like implementing stuff that, in the grand scheme of things, seems like you didn't need to go that way.
yeah, but I mean, as I feel like they've
Motion
gotten,
controllers.
like, not even that, just linking systems together, right? Like you had a max capacity of what it was 4 players or whatever, right? For Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But if you had 2 systems on 2 TVs, if they were linked together, you could have 8. But like, you know, that was always, all right, let's all of us go over to Corey's house. Somebody bring a second Nintendo and a second copy of the game and
And a
this
TV.
cable and a TV.
Not to mention getting 8 people together.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, that was like your birthday party.
Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
But
once
like
a year.
the culmination of that is like just now on the Switch, they can talk to each other, right? Like pretty easily, no cables involved, and you can just play a game of Mario Kart. Me on my screen, you on yours. You still need
be
to
in
have
the same room.
You still need, yeah, you're still in the same room. You still need that second system, but you know it's a lot easier now. I think, Corey, I think we did it in like a theater one time while we were waiting for a movie to start. We just had our Switches and we were like playing a thing of Mario Kart before the trailers were starting because we were there early, and it was like we could do it.
These sounds like great pre-COVID times.
Oh yeah. This was
In the long,
when did
long
the Switch
ago.
come out? 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So
Yeah, we're in our 30s. We're heading to a theater with our
with our handheld, I
You want to play some
assume
Mario Kart before the movie starts?
I assume it was an animated movie.
Yeah, let's not-
It was Toy Story 4. I'm sure of it.
Let's not talk about Cars 3 in our 30s on a Tuesday night, and we're the only 2 in the theater. Until the other
not the only
4 or
2
5
over 15, just the only 2 people.
Yeah. And then just before it starts, the other 4 30-plus-year-olds show up.
Yeah.
Not a child to be found. I'm pretty sure we were red dotted on the way out.
Worth it.
Our posters were put up in schoolyards everywhere. Look out for these 2. Oh man, and they still haven't opened the movie theater here.
Yeah, some of the cineplexes
Some of them
are
have,
open.
but the actual one that's like 4 or 5 blocks from here.
Oh, the
Landmark.
the Landmark one, yeah, that one's not
Yeah.
open. It's only Cineplex, kind of across Ontario. Some of them.
So banner year for Lego sales. Big part of that was the Mario Lego, which Parker has, and he's already over it.
I feel like that doesn't
Yep,
look
yep.
like a Lego dude version of Mario.
It's not. He is basically a giant QR code scanner.
Yeah, why did they have to make his head so non-Lego-y?
So like the pants come off,
Well,
Of course
and
they
the
do.
hat,
here we go.
Yeah,
and his hat.
yeah. Take it off.
Strip for me, Mario. So you can put like when he's get the firepower or other costumes for other bonuses in the game. But yeah, basically turn them on, scan the barcode in the pipe, and then you for 60 seconds you have to continue through the level. And the day we put it together, he played with it for a good while, and subsequent days. But it's for $60 for that.
That's Lego in general.
Yeah.
And then for the Mario, then it's like just a suit, another suit. Like he's got the what do you call it? The firepower one, and that's $15 just for that.
And it's like different noises when you land on different things, or
Yep.
yeah.
Like the music plays while you're going, and you land on a Goomba, and it makes the squish sound, and you get a coin, it makes the coin sound. You stand on the barcode by the flag, and it does a whoop, and then plays the
Nice.
music and totals your coin score. And then I guess you just keep doing that, trying to beat it, change your course however you want to do it. He still loves it. He just doesn't play with it nearly as much as. But I didn't buy it, so.
I mean, the main draw of that is kind of like making your own level, right? It's basically
Yes.
It's real life Mario Maker.
Yeah,
So it's kind
much
of
like the real life Mario Kart course maker.
yeah, it would be one of those things that's really fun for a little while, but then eventually you're going to just be like, Yeah, I mean all courses are the same. So like there's only so many ways you can put a coin brick in a like tunnel, right? Or a pipe.
Yeah, you got a bomb and you get the Koopas and
Yeah.
the little like gerbil gopher things. But since, like I said, Nintendo said this was a huge seller, or Lego said this was a huge seller for them, I wonder, you foresee them doing anything other than this? Is there anything that's big enough that you would, like Zelda?
No.
No.
Wow, that was really long thought out. Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, I was
Yep.
just thinking that.
If everything's coming back, I can't understand why there's no ports of
Diddy Kong Racing.
like the good Diddy Kong Racing,
Any
or
Raveware
Diddy
game,
Kong
really?
64.
Yeah.
Like they're major characters that they've had.
Yeah, you're right. Any of the rare like properties,
Rare
BanjoKazooie.
Yeah, BanjoKazooie was a great game.
BanjoKazooie was like such a good mix of like Donkey Kong and
Yep.
yeah,
Donkey
it was
Kong
just
and
such
Diddy
a good
Kong.
version of Donkey Kong.
It was Donkey Kong with a bear instead of a monkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, I mean, it was the whole multiple world, like, and then you had like whatever, you had like the main world, which you kind of like navigated and operated in, and then you jumped to other worlds. I think that was like the first. I mean, Super Mario 64 was kind of like that to an extent.
That was it.
but
Yeah.
I think this was the more of a elaborate version of that. I think.
Yeah, Mario 64 was definitely the first one that was like, all right, you have an like outside world kind of thing,
Yeah,
and
that
then you
you-
just jump into levels.
Levels.
But BanjoKazooie did it better.
I think, would you consider Mario 64 almost like open world beta? Because like you can go around the castle and do all this, that, and the other without having to actually do a level. Just looking for secrets and shit.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I
Open
think maybe not
world in
beta,
the sense
maybe
that it was like
alpha.
a snow globe
Yeah.
where there was
Yeah, where the world was not open.
like it was like a closed open world.
Yeah, a fenced-in yard, if you
Yep,
will.
yeah.
I like when you have one of those kids that you put like on a leash and you let them just run around the yard.
Exactly.
They're just tied to the tree, just going in circles.
He'll tire himself out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He's fine. Oh, we'll jump a bit off to sports. And this intrigued me. So the XFL and apparently the CFL are working on some sort of partnership.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
You think he's cooking a takeover?
I hope so.
That's the first thing I thought of. I can't think because they said they're gonna hold XFL is gonna hold their 2022 season until this gets finalized.
Until 2023.
Yeah, part of me thinks it's the CFL's in dire straits because of the lost season. And
Yeah, and I think Dwayne Johnson is taking advantage of that, and I think
I
he's
think
just gonna
you
swallow this league.
yeah, merge it up.
Yeah.
And do you keep the teams in Canada or you just move them all to U.S. markets
I
or
mean,
both?
Yes.
Some can say if you're like privately owned or municipality owned.
I'd like to think that the Rock kind of respects Canadian culture enough that he wouldn't do that.
Because he lived here when he played for the Stamps?
Maybe.
I'm
Or just because he's not an asshole?
I
just think 'cause he's not
that's the
an
thing I
asshole.
was gonna go with. I
Yeah,
just
I just
think
think
he's
he's
a
not
good
a
businessman, but he's not an asshole.
Yeah, I think maybe they take over, they look at the books, as it were, and whatever looks like it could work stays.
And
whatever-
also, like, how many times has the XFL like tried and failed in the States,
twice.
and massively failed each time?
Yeah.
At least there is like some
The second
sort
time
of.
was, you could say.
But this
COVID
time's
played
going
a
to be
part?
different.
Well, no, it's just like
It's like the Crest of the Clown
there
retiring
seems
for
to
the fifth and
be-
final time.
there seems to be at least a bit of a like pretty massive following in like for CFL teams. Like if you like football, and I know a lot of Red Blacks fans who just like love CFL, maybe you can keep them.
Yeah.
Probably not, but compared to just trying it again in the States with, where they have the NFL, like what other cities are they going to put them in, right? They're just going to put them in cities where like NFL's already got teams because they already have a bit of a base like football knowledge.
Yeah, but if you go to a city that already has an NFL team, are you already handcuffing yourself?
Well, maybe that's why it didn't succeed the first couple times, but like, I don't know. Are you going to see a like Wisconsin Wizards?
Yes.
Doubt it.
So like we had for this go around, there are 8 teams that they had were in. One was St. Louis, which no longer has a team.
So they're like, well, we should put. It would be a great place. This didn't work out before.
Well, that's because they're in LA now. The Rams. So they had Dallas. So there's your first problem. Houston, second problem. Los Angeles, third problem. Seattle, fourth. They actually DC, I guess, with Washington. So that's your fifth problem. New York, sixth. Then St. Louis was the only other one because the other is the only other city that didn't have a team, and then Tampa was the last one. So, yeah, you kind of handcuff, unless you're gonna go to Oklahoma or Alabama or other non. Well, there's 32 cities in the NFL, so you're kind of limited.
Yeah,
gotta have a good population too. Yeah, I'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Part of me really wants it to be a buyout just to see what happens. I think if it's, I don't know how you do a partnership unless you're going to feed players into each other.
I'm not sure how that's going to work.
It's like a farm league to one. Their farm teams or something. Their affiliates.
We'll find out.
Will we? And then I saw this pop up. So the NBA is having a play-in tournament this year for the 8th seed. And then they released how that's all going to work out. So if you finish the season in 9th and 10th, you play a game, and the winner of the 9th and 10th faces the loser for 7th and 8th spot. And then the winner of that gets the 7th seed, and 8th seed is the battle between the losers of 9 and 10. And
like this is,
I don't know.
This isn't a thing going forward, right? This is just a way to get an extra like 2 games in. Like it has to be.
Yes, I've heard rumblings of them wanting to make something a regular thing for the playoffs. Maybe not necessarily this, but they want to change it up.
I feel like
it up as you were.
I feel like it might make sense if because like there's a lot of times where teams 7, 8, 9, and 10 are like within a game of each other, right? Like 1 point, 2 points, maybe even 3 points between 7 and 10. And so I'm like, okay, that, I can kind of get on board with, but that usually is only on like one side of the bracket, either in the East or the West. There's usually teams that are like 7 to 10, 7 to 11 even are very close to each other. And on the other side, it's like the difference between 6 and 8 even, or 6 and 9 is like 10 points. So it's not like there would be any sort of movement in one game. But I don't know. This definitely just feels like, hey, we already have a shortened season. Let's get 2 more games in and see where it goes. And if it succeeds, then we add it. And now our 82 game regular season turns into an 84 game season for some.
To me, it just seems like if you're the 9th or 10th place team, your fans are like, right on, we have a chance. If you're the 8th place team, you're like, the fuck.
Yeah.
Or even 7th in this case, 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
It's very
but you
much
could,
like
if you're in
the
7th, you
play-in
could lose and then win again and be 8th, right? Hold on, I gotta.
Yes. So if you're 7th and 8th, the winner goes to get 7. The loser goes to play the winner of 9 and 10.
And if no clear
they-
winner can emerge,
Yeah.
well,
No clear winner.
A two-man sack race will be held
losers
consecutive
here.
Sundays.
until a champion can be crowned.
We're in month 4 of the NBA play-in tournament.
Yeah. If Oakland beats Denver in a blind choice round robin.
So much can be learned and loved
Oh.
from basketball.
Great movie.
Like everything about that movie is 100% accurate when it comes to the stupidity of
I'm gonna watch
professional
that.
sports.
I'm gonna watch that clip after this podcast.
Yeah, this is that clip right here.
Yeah.
But again, why not just reseed? Who cares if you have the other 2 teams try to make it? If you're concerned about parity or whatnot, why not just have? If you want to really liven it up, just take 1 to 8 from both sides and then reseed them 1 to 16.
Sure. I mean,
To me, that makes it more exciting than
we've
the
been-
shittier teams.
We've been asking for that in all the leagues for like since we started watching sports, I'm sure. Like it doesn't make sense for a team that has a better record not to make the playoffs just because they're playing in a different, like a harder conference or a harder division.
I don't think the argument that teams make or leagues make is that it's not fair for teams to go from coast to coast in a playoff series without extra, time off or whatever because of the time difference.
The dreaded time
That's what-
difference.
That's what they do. That's why you always have like the 2-3 day breaks between like a 3-4 games 2 and 3 and a 4 and 5 because they got it on the finals where they travel from coast to coast,
Yeah.
so they can get adjust to the time difference. But like these are professionals here.
Yeah, it's not like they're not used to traveling. And like it's not like they're at essentially peak performance.
Like that's
Like
why we
peak
have the
health.
issue with the division setup in hockey because there's so many in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah. And is like that's I'm assuming the reason why we have to play Calgary 4 times in a row
I guess.
to avoid
Travel.
like going back and forth and doing like instead of doing a home and home, doing like a 2 and 2 home and home just so that we can get 4 games in without all the extra travel time.
Yeah, and that's why when you have teams in the NHL go out west, they always hit them all. You have like
Yeah, you just do it all. Yeah, you do it all in one run.
So if you're going to California, well, then you're going to have LA, San Jose, and Anaheim, and then you
Yeah.
come back. And then if you're going out to Vancouver, you go Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary. It's just
Makes sense.
nonsense. It does.
Like
but
for
also-
that stuff, it makes sense. This bracket thing is no.
Well, I know the NBA for sure as one. I think would more likely go 1 to 16 than you would in the NHL. It's been talked about way too much, and probably won't happen. But of the two, I would say that would happen there first. Will you get that happening versus a universal DH like in baseball?
I say it should be universal no DH.
With the pitchers to bat
Yeah.
in both leagues?
Why shouldn't they?
Because, right, correct me if I'm wrong, for the COVID year, they went DH for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And wasn't there a big push to have that going forward?
Yeah. I mean, there's 2 schools of thought. Like, Michelle's school of thought isn't necessarily wrong. If you're on the team, like, should you be also playing both sides? Like, there's that. Then there's the other side. It's like, well, pitchers kind of have a unique role. You don't want them to be throwing out their arms batting when they play such an important role in the pitching roster and stuff like that. It really depends. It depends on who you ask.
If you're in the American League, you're up for the DH.
Yeah,
If you're in the
but it's
National-
also like the DH. Like I mean, they're a purely offensive player, right? Like they're not on the field for defense at all. They're
'Cause-
just there to hit dingers.
for those
And
Uninitiated DH is designated hitter. It's not a field position. It's just somebody who rides pine until it's their turn to bat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing as like punters or kickers in football, right? Like they're not on the field for any single time except for that one time that they want to kick a field goal.
Yeah, but if the punt gets or if the field goal doesn't make it, or they might potentially have to play defense too, right? Once they're on the field, if it runs back.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Like they don't, right? They make their effort and they're like, oh, whoops, I didn't get him.
Yeah. Designated hitters are legit there to just crank a bat.
Yeah. And they're like, they're not diving in for doubles and triples. Like they're either going to get a single and not stretch the double, or they're going to get a home run.
Sometimes they don't even run. Sometimes they get a pinch runner.
Yeah, exactly. They're just there to hit the ball, and then they're like, all right, take me out, coach.
Like you can literally like designate somebody to bat, then designate another person to run. Yeah, I think that's what I don't like that aspect of baseball. It's the
Doug Reamer of baseball. Hits his home run and just sits on a chair and has his runner go do it for him.
Go.
So what's the story? Have they said anything? Is Toronto going to be allowed to play here this year?
For the Jays?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I know Texas has opened up. Texas is allowing full capacity. I'm trying to get to Texas.
Just let them in. Let them in. They'll die, but let them in.
Let them in.
Yeah.
We'll make at least one game's worth out of them.
I'll go to a Texas Rangers game. If I die of COVID with a giant hot dog in my hand, I'll die happy.
At that point, do you know if it's COVID or the hot dog?
It could be either. Surprise.
Who knows? Who knows what a ballpark hot dog consists of?
Yeah. It's a $1 dog night.
To line up with $18 beer night.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys the story of when I went to opening day and they had to give me 2 beers because they couldn't?
It's the law.
They couldn't. This was in Atlanta, so it was opening day, first day of the season, and me and my buddies went to the beer stand to get beers, and so
that makes sense.
Yeah, so far like this all adds
beer
up.
Stand beers. Yep, it all checks out.
And so, anyways, they're doing like the call-outs, beer here, and like typical ballpark, shouting for that stuff, right?
Those
so, anyways,
know how to.
I go to buy my $26 beer, and so she goes, "Oh, like I'm like whatever." I can't. I think I gave her a 50 or something like that. It was a high enough denomination of bill.
It was one of those green bills that they have in the States.
And so anyways, there was some complications where she couldn't open the cash register to crack the bill, and she's like, "Oh, well, like I can't crack your change." And so like, "Well, I'm not paying $50 for a beer. I don't care how good this ballpark is." And she goes, "Well,
48, absolutely. 50, no, thank you."
And she's like,
"Okay,
it's
the best beer I ever drank in my life."
And she's like, "Well, I can give you 2 beers." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think I have much choice."
Keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking. Like,
you've piqued my interest.
So, anyways, I bought 2 beers, and I was still shorted like a couple dollars or whatever it was. And so, anyways, the lady proceeds to keep yelling for for people to come to concession. I'm going, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I would get I've worked enough opening days at CTC, madam, to know that you should not be announcing your friggin' presence when you have a cash register issue. Like, figure this shit out first." And I reamed her out because with 2 beers in my hand. With 2 beers in my hand.
I will have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did, because I was hammered by the 3rd inning because they overserved
on 2 American beers?
Yeah, they were Belgian moons. So they were actual beers. Yeah, they weren't like
they weren't Bud Lights.
They were Bud Lights. Yeah. Another funny story is that same day, after the 2 beers that I was forcefully fed, there's that awkward moment where this probably has happened to maybe you guys at a Sens game where you're in the wrong row and you just missed the row. I did this with an entire section. And it was that awkward moment where you're in the row and you're going, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. And you realize there's not an empty seat in that entire row. And everybody knows.
No, this doesn't make sense.
Everybody knows it, and you're the last person to clue in.
But
and
then, sorry, go ahead. No, but so then did you go and like see someone and be like, "Excuse me, sir, I believe you're in my seat"?
No, I didn't get
Okay,
that
because
part.
that would have been
Yeah.
the best ending.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they're like,
No, I don't think so.
sir."
No. I remember this though. I was pretty inebriated, but this kind Georgian man looked me in the eye, and he knew I was confused and a little startled. He goes, "Son, I think you're in the wrong section." And I said, "You know what? I think you're right." I was like, "What section is this?" And then he goes, "Whatever it was, like 314." I was like, "Oh, I wasn't. It wasn't even the next section. The next section over. It was like 4 sections
this isn't
away.
the 100s?
Yeah.
Sir, these are outfield seats.
Yeah.
You are behind home plate.
He came to my aid though, as I was double fisting Blue Moon beer.
The best part was
That's
I had a great,
like
I had a great time.
is just calling you son. That's typical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
Southern respect.
he knew
Son.
I needed help, and he came to my aid. Like no judgment, no cussing me out. Just said, "You know, this kid's in trouble. I need to help him out."
Probably thought this guy's clearly a tourist.
Thank you, random
Thank you, kind
Atlanta
Georgia man.
Yeah, kind Georgia man.
Bobby Joe, Billy Ray, Joe Bob. You're not even in the wrong section. He's in the wrong stadium. These are Falcon tickets.
There's no team called the Spungos. Oh man. So, anyways,
These
yeah,
tickets,
that's
sir, are for tomorrow.
I'll have a good day. Cash will be fine.
always
Cash will be
glad
fun.
to share my drunken baseball
Well,
story.
at least it's not like when I had to deal with somebody years ago with the World Juniors, and somebody went to their seats and could not find their seat, and they got sent to the box office, and they said, "I can't find my seat." I go up there and there's nothing, and they have for section 332 row I, where we have no 32 in the building, nor is there any row I's. So it's like,
Scalped?
Man.
Like a fraud
They
ticket?
bought a package from someplace that just created fraudulent tickets. They
Yeah.
were somehow with valid barcodes to get into the building.
Yeah, I was going to say, how would that barcode work, though?
You'd be
Weird.
surprised. You'd be surprised in this day and age how people manipulate tickets.
I always admired the fact that we dealt with no third-party BS there for a while when we were all working there.
It's a lot easier now because Ticketmaster runs the monopoly on tickets.
Yeah.
So if you buy through them, any venue you got to go back to Ticketmaster, and the box office is really essentially
Deal with
just building staff that will assist you with buying tickets on site or directing you back to Ticketmaster if there's something wrong with your ticket.
Yeah, to go buy another ticket.
Yeah, it's like, oh, these are fraudulent. Where'd you buy them? Oh, okay, well, the number's in the back. Have a good day. And is there anything you can do about it? No, you didn't buy from us. You bought through a legitimate company that somehow the seller sold you fraudulent tickets.
Would someone do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
I know. It's unheard of. So Ryan, what's the world of dating and COVID like?
It's not.
Is it any worse?
It's not.
It's not. I would say the focus is more dating in your 30s is the nightmare I thought it would be. I haven't really given the fact that it's in COVID much thought. It's kind of like polishing a turd already. Actually, no, that's a bad analogy. It's like crapping a second turd on the first
And then trying to polish that.
and then trying to polish it.
You're trying to polish one turd, but these turds just keep on coming.
You're trying to polish the turd with another turd.
Yeah.
And your hands are covered in turd.
Yeah. And no one's responding to your messages.
Please, someone just give me some turd polish so I don't have to polish it with another turd. Why won't someone answer me?
Please help me with my cries of help.
Yeah, that's pretty much what dating's like. Yeah, it's all dating apps act like whatever chance there was as to meeting somebody bumping their grocery cart in aisle 5, like those days are long gone. Like you have really no choice but to hit up the Tinder or whatever the kids are using these days.
I believe all the kids are on Grindr, Ryan.
JD.
Maybe you should switch over to that.
That sounds fun. I sure like grinding through dating.
Oh.
Ooh. Can't
Cheese
see it.
grinders.
You can't see it, but I'm tugging my collar.
Is it open?
It is.
Hey, so casual.
Then it's on brand. Yeah, that sounds like. So
Eh.
wait. Now, is it because you're in your 30s, or just dating people also in your 30s that makes it the turd? Are you going for the younger girls, Ryan?
Yeah. Kinda. Like, I don't know. Like, not like super young, but like probably staying away from girls in their mid to late 30s. That's probably a no-go for me. Early 30s, okay. Like 30, 31, sure. 37.
32? No, thank you.
32, my age.
Get out.
My age. First of all, how dare you?
And why is that, Ryan?
I don't have a
A justifiable answer.
Yeah.
correct.
Just ages.
Just science.
That's
I just
fine.
say science.
I'm just gonna lean into the mic and say I don't recall.
You get your hand over it, leaning over, conferring
Yeah.
with your lawyer.
Yeah,
Do not recall.
no comment.
And have you narrowed your choices down? Because when we've talked, it was.
Oh, Cord. Sweet naive Corey. I would actually have to have options in order to narrow them.
Is that one into you?
Is anyone into me?
Well, you said the one you were unsure. Though, like, they're going out with you, so unless it's just for the free meal.
Sometimes it is.
People gotta eat.
right.
Can't blame them. No, I mean, there's. I've been on a handful of dates. There's some promising candidates, and there's the ones that were kind of ones and done, and either I was, not up to expectation, or vice versa.
Do any of them listen to this?
Uh,
Will they be like, "Oh, is he talking about me?"
No, definitely
That's for
not.
the fan to decide.
Nice. Yeah. Another clip I'm gonna watch after this. Yay!
Good.
Yeah.
The
So,
old
yeah.
Simpsons.
So yeah, to summarize, the too long didn't read is that dating in your 30s is awful. Dating in COVID is awful. I'm gonna die alone.
Well, you're honest. Put that on there. They like
I
honesty.
was gonna say it. Yeah, it's on my profile.
Gonna die at home.
Honest,
Gotta admit it. Gotta be honest.
honest podcaster looking for soulmate.
Non-smoker, non-ugly.
Must own your own webcam.
No webcam need not apply. Oh, man. Well, I feel for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's like you're looking for love. It's like me looking for work.
Actually, that'd be like a good bet. Who finds it first? Corey finds employment, or Ryan finds love?
Well, like
What's-
you,
what's
I
the
could
ac-
probably.
What's the
I-
action
I-
on that?
I could.
He's
It
thinking.
would-
I can tell. He's tossing it
I'm
up.
like,
well,
how
but
much can I make off of this?
like your instances, I have run into quite a few scams with employment opportunities. Like I applied for one last week, and within 10 minutes of me sending off, I got a call to go meet with them within an hour.
Yeah, in the back alley.
I pretty much.
Seems shady.
Come alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Bring
said-
your kidneys.
Yeah. Both of them?
Yeah.
Do
Yes, I said kidneys.
Yeah, great. You own a bathtub, right?
I'll be there in 20. And then when I said I was unable to, they went dark. So
Yeah.
just like other ones where I was saying, how much are you looking to be compensated for this job, and you tell them what you are looking for, which is a livable salary, and they don't get back to you.
Ooh, I'm sorry. The answer we were looking for was you would be willing to be paid in experience.
And or pieces of string.
Yeah. You do not accept bits of string.
Damn this economy.
So many clips to watch.
Yeah, the next episode of this show will be clips of other shows.
Yeah.
It'll just play while we watch them. We'll have an intro and an outro.
Which will be clips of other intros and outros.
It will be the Open Collar spin-off showcase. Fuck, well, I was going to say something else. Oh, I watched Coming to America the other day.
The first one.
How was it?
No, the second one. Two with
coming to America.
Coming dos. Have you seen the first one?
A long time ago.
If you haven't seen it, you could watch this one and
be
know
okay.
what happened in that one, because they show a good chunk
Great
of the
deal.
movie in the second one.
Oh, wow.
How
Like,
can we
basically
reduce
just-
movie costs? Oh, just use half the other movie.
Yeah, like they'll take time in showing clips of the main parts of the story rather than just like summarize it. They're actually showing, this happened, they went there, and and then the rest of it is all callbacks with cameos and jokes and other stuff. It is a serviceable sequel to a good movie. It itself, I don't find, is a good movie on its own, but I enjoyed it. I like Eddie. That's my review. Watch it if you must, or just watch the first one.
I don't think
You've
I've
watched it
any
twice. You've
movies.
seen Coming to Do.
I've watched a lot of documentaries. That's about it.
What's the last documentary that you just watched?
It
Framing
was on-
Britney.
No, I wish it was on the Cola Wars, Coke versus Pepsi. It's fascinating. My life is a roller coaster.
Quick survey: soda or pop, or soda pop?
Like what
What
to
do you-
call
what
it?
do you-
I call
yeah.
it pop. Actually, I've been calling it soda probably lately. I used to call it pop a lot, but I think I've changed to soda.
Oh, Michelle's muted.
Yeah, Michelle, you're muted, buddy. Yeah.
I think the only time I say soda is when it's like not one of the main pops.
It's like a cream
like
soda.
yeah,
RC.
Soda stream RC. But like if it's like Coke, Pepsi, ginger ale, actually even at that point, I'm more likely to say what it is rather than that it's a pop. Like I'm gonna go have a Coke, or I'm gonna go have a ginger ale. Not.
But a ginger ale itself is all encompassing, because it's Canada Dry or it's Schweppes.
Yeah.
You just
No, I
feed
usually
into an
just say
argument.
ginger ale.
It's like someone says,
Unless it's
no, I'll
that
just take
the
you want some to
raspberry
drink?
ginger.
No, I'll just have a water. A water is a drink.
Yeah,
You're one of those.
I am one of those.
Is Pepsi okay?
Get out. You take your 32-year-old ass out of here.
I always want to say no. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think everybody says that if someone asks me if Coke's okay or soda or Pepsi's okay, that I'll just leave or say no and see what the waiter would do. But no one ever does it.
I'll try that next time. Next time I'll look
Please
him
do.
dead in the eye. I'll be like, "Nah."
Especially if you get the sense at the start of your date it's not going to end well.
I'll do that. Challenge accepted. If I ever fortunate enough to find myself in a dating opportunity like that and I get asked, is Pepsi okay? I will sacrifice the date to make this joke.
Make sure you record it.
Yeah, it's going to be part of the show.
Otherwise, we know it didn't happen.
So how was the documentary?
I mean, it's as good as an hour-long documentary on Coke versus Pepsi can be.
Was there
Talked about all the stints.
Was there a clear winner or no? Or just
Pepsi, I
more
think.
popularity, with one at a certain time and
it's
then
more-
another one?
Yeah, it was more like the back and forth throughout the decades. How like Pepsi kind of rose up as this underdog and finally ended up beating Coke after whatever 100 years almost.
Like I know
And
a lot
then
of people
Christmas
prefer
comes around and Santa
Yeah.
pushes Coke everywhere, and then it wins.
They talked about the failing of New Coke when they brought out New
Oh,
Coke in
God.
like, the 80s.
Did they show any of the Cosby commercials?
They did not. They showed the Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial though.
They talk about
Is
his
that on-
tour where he caught on fire.
Yeah.
Is that
Did
on
it?
Netflix?
No, it was on. It was just on like TV. I think it was recorded.
TV?
Yeah.
Cable.
Cable television.
I don't know what that is. So Rogers buying Shaw, that going to be an issue?
I don't think
it should
so.
be. I think it should be.
Honestly,
It should be an issue, but I
I-
don't think it will be.
I thought it already happened. So
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
yeah, I was like,
So yeah, if Rogers didn't own it, Bell would have.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I kind of just assumed. Shaw's the one that they own Global, right? Like they have Global. I think they own Food
Yeah.
Network too.
Yeah, I think they bought Can West a long time ago.
Yeah,
Because,
it definitely
everything buys
should be some sort of like anti-competition thing, but it won't be.
No.
Yeah, I find regulators in Canada are all talk about, we need to have competition in the marketplace. We need to be able to have, affordability for services, and then shit like this continues to happen.
That all goes out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we were discussing
'Cause
in
Freedom,
our
right?
yeah,
Freedom's
like
supposed
yeah,
to be,
exactly.
the
Like,
number 4.
yeah, like in our like mobile department group chat, we were talking about it, and it's like, yeah, it's everyone wants more competition to drive prices lower, but Freedom would have been the number 4 in Canada. I mean, in certain spots of Canada, and now Rogers is just going to own them. And Rogers said that they weren't going to raise prices for
I
at
was just
least
gonna
3
say,
years, but
If
okay.
you have to come out and say
Sure.
that means
Yeah.
that your plan is 100% to do it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, if you have to go and say, oh, yeah, at least 3 years, we're not going to do it, then it's like the
That-
3-year mark.
Yeah.
It's the absolute latest it's going to be before they raise prices.
Like, yeah, the day after that anniversary.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It's like when your product's warranty is 1 year, and then day
It breaks.
366 it breaks down. That's what it's going to be.
all your contracts up with whatever company back then. And
Yeah.
now you can get this new phone for free, but the plan you have no longer exists. So it's going to cost you X dollars more.
Yeah. Well, that happens like
All
on a
the
weekly
time.
basis now.
Yeah.
So
But back then-
every week I go into Best Buy and I'm like, oh, this plan's not here anymore.
Like I was saying, when you see commercials on television, I'm only going for reference. I don't know what that is. For service plans in the States where it's like, oh, it's $25, unlimited everything. And you say, well, I don't believe you, Ryan Reynolds. And
Ting Mobile.
yeah, and you look it up and it is. And you hear it's, oh, you can get 5 gigs of data for $300.
Yeah, we get absolutely screwed on telecommunications.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with just like the CRTC will they tell us what we need rather than what we actually need. Like Canada is almost always in the top 3 to 5 of like fast data speeds. But
However-
the thing is, like, we don't need that fast of data speeds to do what most people do on their phones. Like, the States have unlimited everything because their data speeds are like 2 megabytes down on LTE. Like, it's pretty slow, very slow compared to what we have in Canada. But the thing is, like, I do a speed test in Ottawa, and on my carrier, like Virgin Mobile, it's like 400 down, which like Instagram loads the exact same at 400 down or 20 down. But CRTC is like, well, the reason our rates are higher is because our data speeds are consistently at the like top of the pack. But the thing is, they don't really give an option to have a, you know how like if you get home internet, you can get different tiers like 50, 100 up to like
Yeah.
gigabit or 1.5. and you kind of choose what your max speed is going to be, and you can pay a little bit less, like really just a little bit less, to get like a slower max speed. But cell phones, like the providers, they don't do that. They just say, like, you can have 5 gigs at the max speed all the time for, $45 or whatever. But the thing is, there's no option to have a like $20 plan at 10 megabytes down, And that's the main thing is CRTC will always use the fast data speeds as their reasoning, but it's flawed because nothing we do on our phones requires that fast
speed.
Yeah. So it's just like sure, your speedometer on your car says 200, but like you're not going to go 200 kilometers an hour.
That's right.
So you've been listening to the news. People are doing that shit. It's clearly you've been watching the news.
Oh, yeah. People have been doing that. But again,
through lockdown.
Yeah.
Just because you can doesn't mean you need to.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And also like we have a lot less congestion in, like, for us, like I get a lot of people coming in and being like, oh, does this phone have 5G? Does this phone have 5G? And every time I'm like, you are going to replace whatever phone you get next before 5G is a thing that everyone is going to have. Sure, if you keep this phone for the next 7 years, you will be able to use it on, with 5G, but
there'll be so many other variables that.
Yeah, exactly. Like 5G is not a reason to purchase a phone. If there was the option of a, iPhone 12 with 5G and an iPhone 12 without 5G, and there was like a price difference, then sure, if you want to kind of future-proof, go for it, but you probably don't need to. But there isn't. It's just the only option is a 5G iPhone now. So, like,
and the cost difference would be like $1,200 versus $1,300.
$1,250. Yeah, exactly.
$1,250 and $1,251.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a bad argument, but it's the argument that, like, that's the hill they're gonna die on, for sure. That, like, the reason that states have plans that are $20 a month for unlimited is because, like, it's also not unlimited. It's like whatever 22 gigabytes, I think, at full speed, which is not really very fast. But it's fast enough for what most people do on their phones. That's the thing. It's just the reason we don't have unlimited plans, like full out unlimited plans, is because Rogers wants you to also have Rogers Ignite home internet and not just use your phone for everything. Like your home internet.
That's just it.
It's fine. Like, everybody's at home, so you don't even need.
Oh yeah, people come in and they're like, we look at their plans and there's just big, older plans where data used to cost like way, way more than it does now. They would come in and they're paying like, like you said, $120, $130, and they were getting like 3 or 4 gigs. And right now you can get that for 40 gigabytes, for $40. But people don't really realize how much they don't use. And, so there's all these plans of like 15, 20, 30 gigabyte plans that people are like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. And I'm like, is it though? Like, if we check your data usage, especially now, it's like, I feel like I'm a very heavy data user. But, even there's Wi-Fi everywhere now.
Yeah.
So it's really hard unless you are, like, if you're in a more remote location that, your home internet just isn't so great, but you need to do, schooling, or you're working from home or something like that, and you do require a lot of data from your phone, like, that's one thing. But if all you're doing is, even if it's like streaming Spotify or podcasts and stuff like that, like, that uses up a lot less data than it used to because of compression and data saving modes and all that kind of stuff.
I just can't think that we're still in 2021 one of the most, if not the most expensive in the world for this stuff.
Yeah,
Even I find our home and TV, like our home internet and our TV plans, are still so expensive.
Yep. But that's why we have 17 streaming services to subscribe to instead.
Or you can pay for Amazon Prime and then pay for channels through it.
There you go. Same with Apple TV Plus. You can do it that way.
Oh, it's on there too now?
Oh yeah. Well, that was Apple TV.
Of course they weren't going to be done.
That was Apple TV Plus's like play from the beginning. They know that no one's going to pay for their actual content, but they might pay for having, all the other stuff aggregated inside their app, and then be like, oh, well, I'm already here. I might as well pay for Apple TV also. Classic Apple move.
Well, if anyone's going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone has yet to pay for Apple TV. They keep extending that free trial that they've been giving out. So,
all right. A quick round of Florida Man True or False, because it's been sitting in my inbox forever. Just for some laughs before we go. All right. Taco Bell employee caught urinating out drive-through window. Florida, true or false?
absolutely true.
False.
Yeah, it's false.
Yeah.
Come on.
I've been practicing.
Man convicted in drunken horse riding incident arrested again. True. Florida man. True or false?
Again. I'm going with true.
I'm gonna double down on the false.
It's true. It happened.
There we go.
1-1.
Necessary.
Man escapes on lawnmower from intoxicated machete-wielding man.
That sounds like Florida.
Wait, which one was the Florida man? The machete guy or the lawnmower man?
Well, if it's in Florida, they both are.
They both are Florida.
Either both of them are, or neither of them are.
So, Florida man, true or false?
What are you saying, Ryan? I'll say the opposite.
I'm saying true.
Okay, I'll go with false.
The subject was the byline of it was the lawnmower escape is what gave it away. It was Florida.
Yeah.
So is that now? 1, 2, 3. So this is the fourth one. It's 2-1 Ryan. Drunk man
True.
breaks back into local. Drunk man breaks back into local bar for one last beer. Can't find a bottle opener. Florida man, true or false?
Oh, I feel like that could be so many places
could be
in the States or Canada.
I'm gonna say false.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Well, I'll say true for the sake of points.
Okay.
It is a made-up headline. It did not happen in Florida.
Yeah, but it did happen somewhere.
No, it's fake.
No, the whole thing is fake. Wow,
It was fake. It was a fake story.
that definitely seems like at least a real headline that could have happened.
Sounds like something that could happen on any given day.
I think
Yeah,
it would-
exactly.
likely would have been more true if it didn't end with can't find bottle opener. Because like you're already drunk, you broke in. I'm sure you'll find some way of just go right to the tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at that point, just break the bottle. There's glasses everywhere.
And atheist calls for godless attorney after butter knife attack on roommate mistaken for Jesus. Florida man, true or false?
Oh.
Everything about this
Yeah.
sounds like it could be fake, but everything about this also sounds like it could be true.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with true just because it sounds so fake.
True Florida.
This is peak Florida.
This is a true Florida man story.
Wow.
And that was Florida man, true or false. There are more, but we'll save those. Save those for another evening when it's a closer contest. All right, let's wrap this show and let everybody go back to their sleepy ways.
Yeah.
All right, that is Open Collar for this week. Follow us socially at Open Collar Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And live stream us if you haven't already. Find us on youtube.com/GoVNC for the Shell Ryan, this is Corey reminding you to keep it